Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here with our championship night for the MNT Cup Series. The championship is on the line here this evening as these drivers get loaded into the sim. A bunch of them looking for the win, but there's three drivers really in contention here this evening for our championship, the inaugural championship here for the MNT Cup Series. Still getting loaded in, each and every one of them going to get rolling out onto the speedway here as a qualifying getting underway here. So qualifying underway, drivers jumping out onto the speedway. They're going to get their laps in. They're going to make sure that they get their cars absolutely set up perfectly here for the evening as they want to make sure that they can get this night started on the right foot. Closer you can start towards the front of the field as that is not the way you want to get things started for the 88 ride of Clay Cantrell, as you definitely don't want to go around and have those issues during qualifying, as you want to have yourself a good qualifying lap here on the evening. Set yourself up for a big night of racing action here as we get all these drivers loaded into the sim, each and every one of them looking for the win here tonight. So 2 laps for these drivers to get some good qualifying laps down here on the evening. They're going to be looking for some big lap times out there on the speedways. We got another good sized field, another good group of drivers out there on the racetrack. As see Jack Coleman out there in the 15 ride. Currently, he is quickest here in qualifying. So the AC Delco machine having himself a good run early on. Kerry Klein currently second fastest on the speedway. Charles Van Scharik, they're in position number 3 here in the 00 as the GOAT Diecast, the GOAT Racing Diecast ride. They're in 3rd, but he's going to get knocked off of that 3rd spot as to the point here with the quick time in qualifying. It is the 60 ride, the Harpoon Designs Racing Team, the 60 machine of Christian Rowdy Angel, going to be picking up that top spot here on the speedway. Can somebody jump up and knock this 60 ride out of the top position here? Anthony Calatoni, our championship hopeful here on the evening, as right now Calatoni comes into this race. This is how close our points championship is. Calatoni is our points leader going into the evening. He has a 12-point advantage right now going into this race over Clay Cantrell. So Cantrell has a 12-point gap he's going to make up, and then 2 points behind Cantrell, we see the 07 of Justin Lewis. So Lewis 14 points back of being our champion. Calatoni 12 points back from being our champion, and all Anthony Calatoni's got to really do is try to keep both of those drivers within striking distance and not give up too many points to them, or else they could be right there. They could be within inches away from possibly taking this championship away from Calatoni with a good lap time. Currently second quickest out on the speedway, the JL Racing 07 of Justin Lewis jumps up into 3rd here, so he's looking for a good qualifying run. Clay Cantrell currently our 8th quickest here on the timesheet. Wesley Donaldson there in 6th. We saw Chad Coleman up inside the top 5. Steve Tucker in the race day Harpoon Racing Designs, the race day number 1 ride to the point here. So the 9 ride is 9th quickest here on the evening. Race day, I like that. That's a good name. Race day. It's race day, baby. It's race day. It's championship night race day here for the MNT Cup Series. Joshua Yarborough currently 10th quickest. We still got a few drivers left to qualify here on the evening. We got the 27 of Brett Patterson out there on the racetrack. He's looking to get his lap times in here. Currently 12th quickest there on the 1st lap for the 27 ride. Zach Roethlisberger still without a lap time here on the speedway. Now, I'm not sure if he got into the catch fence a couple times or if potentially he's elected to not qualify here or maybe start from the back of the pack in that 6th ride. I think Zach was one of those drivers that potentially could have been a threat here in the championship. I do believe Zach ended up missing a couple races here on the evening or on the season. And I think with him missing some of those races, it's kind of really just affected his outcome here on this championship hopes. It's been a tough break for him as we saw him pick up some really good races, a couple wins, a couple good finishes, and unfortunately for Zach, he's currently right now in the 8th spot in the point standings. Only 4 starts. Jeez, it's a lot of racing for the that number 8 ride, so that's a tough break for him. So we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go. We did see Brett Patterson jump up into position number 4 there with that second lap on the speedway. So finding some extra speed late in that qualifying session for the 27 will put him up towards the front of the field here as Caleb Ramsey, my boy Caleb, coming in, showing the love with the like on the stream. Caleb coming in with the let's go and the exclamation mark followage with the 963 days of being a member of the PeaceMaker family. Absolutely insane, brother. Absolutely insane. 963 days, man. That's wild. That's wild. We've been doing this for a long time, man. That's pretty wild when you start to think about it on how many days that is and everything else. It's pretty amazing how long we've been up here in the broadcast booth putting on these amazing racing action, all these great broadcasts, and all the other games that we've played, friends we've made along the way, new fans, new family. It's been absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing as we get ready here for our championship race in the inaugural season of the MNT Cup Series. Is starting on the pole in the number 60 ride. It's the Harpoon Designs number 60 of Christian Rowdy Angel. To his outside, starting in position number 2, one of our championship hopefuls here this evening, coming into the evening with a 12-point advantage. It's Anthony Calatoni, the Talking Giants, John Boy Media, number 84 ride, starting there in second. Justin Lewis, back 14 spots for this championship. One of those drivers in contention to be crowned our inaugural season champion here this evening, as Lewis will start there in third. Then we see Brett Patterson will start to his outside in position number 4. Kerry Klein going to start in 5th with Jack Coleman there in position number 6 in the AC Delco number 15 ride. Wesley Donaldson will start in 7th in the WBD Diecast number 91 ride, and Charles Van Schaik in the GOAT Racing Diecast 00 will start to his outside in position number 8. Starting in the 9th spot, another one of our championship hopefuls here on the evening is the MNT Motorsports number 88 of Clay Cantrell, as Cantrell came into this evening 12 points back of picking up this championship here, and he'll start back in the 9th spot, so he's got to make up a little bit of ground and hope that Anthony Calatoni, Justin Lewis both have rough nights where he has a really good one, as he'll start in that 9th position to his outside in the 1 ride. It's Steve Tucker. Tucker will start there and round out our top 10 here on the evening, as starting in 11th, Joshua Yarborough in the 77 ride. His outside is the 2 ride of Todd Merkel. Then we see the 83 of William Burton, the number 04 of Christian Proctor there in 14th. Derek Cat in 15th, and Zach, actually it's the 11 rider, Bradley King, rounding out our top 16 and bringing up the rear of the field in that number 6 ride, the Consumer Cellular number 6 machine. That is Zach Roethlisberger there in 17th. So we got 17 drivers ready to rock and roll, as Andrew Christopher says, Talking Giants versus the world. I love it. I love it, Andrew. Talking Giants versus the world. The Talking Giants ride out in front here, going door to door with our pole sitter, Christian Angel, down across the line and into quarter number 1. As we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation, is Calatoni looking for the early race lead. The 60 ride of Christian Angel not getting the run he was hoping for down through 1 and 2. Will settle it back here in that 2nd spot down the back straightaway into corner number 3. Nice and easy for the John Boy Media Talking Giants number 84 ride, Anthony Calatoni, and his championship run here, trying to pick up the inaugural championship of the MNT Cup Series here this evening. He will get off the evening to a great start as he leads lap number 1. So our championship front runner here this evening in that first lap of the evening is Christian Angel there in 2nd. And we see Brett Patterson in the Coca-Cola 27 ride rolls there in 3rd. Justin Lewis, one of our other championship hopefuls here on the evening, they're in position number 4. Kerry Klein, Wesley Donaldson there in 5th and 6th, as Jack Coleman, Charles Sherrick, Steve Tucker, Clay Cantrell, our top 10 here on the Speedway. Now Clay Cantrell here was the closest driver to our points leader, as Anthony Calatoni leads the way, and you see the 88 of Clay Cantrell back here in position number 10 on the Speedway now. Gonna put a lot of pressure on this 88 ride, knowing that he not only has to try to find a way to the front of the field, he's got to try to find a way to gain over 12 points on the 84 ride of Anthony Galatoni. That is a pretty big gap to have to try to make up. Anthony is a tough competitor. There's a reason why he's up there leading the points right now, is because he puts in great races, race after race after race, so consistent, and to be able to just come into this race with that 12-point advantage may be enough for the 84 ride to pick up that championship. It may be too big of a hill here for the 88 of Clay Cantrell and for the number 07 of Justin Lewis to try to make that advantage up that the 12 ride has, especially when he's rolling at the front of the field here. It's early in this race. Anything can happen. We can see a lot of green flag pit stops. We've seen this series multiple times go caution-free throughout a race, and we may see that again here this evening. But I know as that intensity starts to build up more and more, that's when the mistakes start to happen. Whether or not it's on-track incidences or if it's something that happens down pit side, you never know when trouble may find you, and you gotta just be perfect out there on the racetrack, and that's exactly what the 84 ride's hoping for on the evening. Minimize those mistakes, not make any mistakes down pit side, because that can hurt you a ton. You get caught coming in too quick into pit lane. You're sitting down there for 30 seconds, a minute, however long they hold you down on pit road, and all of a sudden you're a lap, 2 laps down, and that is a heartbreaker. You do not want to get caught doing that. So you got to be very cautious on what you do around the speedway, very cautious around who's around you, who's driving around you, and where your other competitors are as well, as you can kind of gauge or know when to push or when not to push. Right now, the 84 ride of Anthony Galatoni, as much as he loves being at the front of the field here, he doesn't necessarily have to push the subject at being at the front. He can kind of give this spot off. He can kind of lay back a little bit. Justin Lewis already back 5 spots, is now sitting in the 8th position. Clay Cantrell down 2 positions. He's back here in 11th now, trying to hang on to the 88 ride. So as Lewis and Clay Cantrell are kind of sliding backwards, you can take it a little bit easier. Be a little bit easier on your tires, on your equipment, maybe trying to save some of that equipment for later in the run when it may be a bigger issue when other drivers start to fall off from pushing early on in a run. You can kind of find that extra gear and get back around them no matter what, and have that long run speed instead of the short run speed, or trying to balance everything out. And right now, Galatoni, he's trying to stay at the front of the field with a 60 ride. Christian Angel here, our pole sitter, trying to take that top spot back away from him here. Unfortunately, lost that lead on the opening lap, and we may see our first new race leader here on the evening as the 60 ride of Christian Angel in the Harpoon Designs number 60 ride, trying to take this race lead away, trying to put himself here at the front of the field. Right now, though, the number 84 of Anthony Galatoni doing just such a great job here at the front of the field as the Tonkin Giants Job Boy Media number 84 ride staying right there at the front of the field, not giving up, not backing down, keeping himself right here at the front of the field. Now, there may be bonus points on the line as well for stage points, and there may be other stuff on there as well. No tracker. Yeah, that's actually weird. The tracker did not decide to refresh. Thank you for pointing that one out for me, Cody. Thank you for pointing that one out for me. Sometimes SDK is just absolutely asinine. Sometimes they're really good. Sometimes they're just doesn't like to work. Sometimes it works fine. There we go. That should be good now. We should be good. We should be good. There we go. Things are looking good there now. Thank you for pointing that out for me, Mr. DeForge. I would have never saw that. I don't normally have Streamlabs open and everything. I got SDK and stuff open, and I don't really notice it through any of the chats, as the chat boxes are all just chats itself. So glad I jumped over there and made sure we got a look at that one. There we go. Yeah, we got her. We got her. Thank you for pointing that out for me, brother. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. As we go down across the line here, we are going to click off lap number 12. Number 13 will go up onto the board. So we are down 10% of this race already. You see Anthony Galatoni starting to slide back here a little bit as Wesley Donaldson able to work himself to the front of the field. The WBD diecast number 91 ride now leads the way as Steve Tucker from 10th up into 2nd now for that one ride as the race day. Harpoon Designs a number 1 ride up into position number 2 here on the Speedway. Anthony Galatoni there in 3rd as Christian Angel right there in position number 4, giving a good shove there to the back bumper of the 84, trying to get back around Steve Tucker there on the Speedway. See Charles Van Schaik right there, as well as the GOAT Racing diecast 00 ride rolls there in 5th with Jack Coleman there in that 6th position. Brett Patterson, Justin Lewis, Zach Roethlisberger, and Joshua Yarborough round out our top 10 here on the Speedway. Kerry Klein back into 11th as Clay Cantrell there in 12th. Todd Merkel there in position number 13 as Merkel there in that 13th position as Christian Prachter right there to his outside as Prachter trying to find a run in a lane here to get to the outside of Todd Merkel on the Speedway. William Burton back here in position number 15 with Derek Catt and Bradley King bringing up the rear of the field here. Is only 17 drivers getting the start here on the evening. A little bit lower of a car count, but final race of the season. Maybe some drivers maybe wanting to play it a little bit more safer. Not sure their skills or hands here in this final race, as I know we're going to be getting more drivers in here for season number 2 over the next few weeks. So if anyone is interested in racing with these guys, interested in becoming a part of this amazing series, a lot of very, very fast, tough competitors out there on the racetrack, but good, clean racing where we've seen majority of these races go caution free, and or we've seen maybe 1 or 2 cautions throughout a night here with the MNT Cup Series. These guys always put on just great shows, great races, very respectful racing out there, and pretty minimal caution flags. Honestly, we see a lot of green flag laps here by all these drivers. Usually our caution flags consist of 1 or 2 car spins and usually not too much damage, and everyone's able to keep on staying out there, have some fun, and enjoy the racing action here at the evening, where we don't see a lot of drivers leaving the racetrack. Everyone kind of stays with it, stays out there, and will keep on running throughout the night. So it's always a lot of fun, a lot of laps that you can get in and get some practice on and have some fun running with. As Wesley Donaldson leads them here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. You see the one ride of Steve Tucker get very loose there at a corner number 2. He was able to catch it, keep that car pointing in the right direction. Unfortunately, loses quite a bit of momentum down the back straightaway. That'll open up the inside lane. Here's a big run for Anthony Galatoni, trying to work himself back up into position number 2 here on the Speedway, but he's gonna well, kind of right in line here, corner entry as the 00 Charles Sherrick trying to work himself around that number 84 ride and put himself up into 3rd as Jack Coleman in the AC Delco number 15 ride. There in the 5th position, Zach Roethlisberger there in 6th. The 07, one of our championship hopefuls here on the evening. It's the JL Racing Merkel Racing Engines number 07 of Justin Lewis there in 7th. Joshua Yarborough back in 8th with Brent Patterson and Clay Cantrell, another one of our championship hopefuls here on the evening. Currently scored in the 10th position on the Speedway here in that 88 ride is our pole sitter, Christian Angel. Loose there around at corner number 2, but he's been sliding backwards. The Harpoon Designs ride, unfortunately, back into 11th, already down 10 spots on the Speedway. As Todd Merkel right there behind him, Kerry Klein, William Burton, Christian Prachter right there, door to door for the 14th position. Burton working the inside lane, the 00, the Minions ride of Christian Prachter there in position number 14. He'll hold on to it as Derek Catt a little farther back, and Bradley King in the Napa Auto Parts number 11 ride rolls there in the 17th position. As at the front of the field, the WBD diecast ride of Wesley Donaldson leading the way here. At the front of the pack is Charles Van Schaik. Right there behind him, a pair of diecast companies here going to battle. Sponsors for the WBD diecast ride of Wesley Donaldson and the GOAT Racing diecast 00 of Charles Van Schaik battling here at the front of the field as they run 1 and 2 on the Speedway. If anyone's in the market for some amazing diecast cars, make sure you guys get a hold of these guys, man. Wesley Donaldson does a great job. We saw Charles Van Schaik does some great work as well. The GOAT Racing crew over there, man, they do some great looking rides. And we're going to throw out one of our a couple of our other boys, man, is the diecast world of NASCAR rides has absolutely surprised me, man. We see my boy Cody DeForge in here with Ring City Racing memorabilia. We got Shenko Custom Diecast as well. We got so many different diecast companies that are part of these leagues, are part of these drivers' lives, and man, the way that these guys all blow up, it's absolutely insane. The market out there for diecast, you know, NASCARs and Xfinity cars and trucks and everything else, man, it's absolutely wild. It's absolutely crazy, man. I honestly, I knew they were pretty big. I've known a lot of guys that have had a lot of diecast cars. I never really got into it. You know, I had dinky cars growing up as a kid, but I never really got into like collecting, you know, diecast cars. But you know, I have to start. I have to get one of the boys to try to draw me up a PeaceMaker gaming one. Get me one of my own cars made or something. You know, that'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of neat to get done. That'd be neat. That'd be real neat. Honestly, that'd be really neat. As Wesley Donaldson continues to lead the way, Donaldson at the point here with Charles Van Schaik right there behind him. Steve Tucker back there in third, but here comes Zach Roethlisberger. As Roethlisberger in that consumer cellular number 6 ride, the Frank Keselowski inspired paint scheme machine rolling here in fourth. He started at the rear of the field here. Roethlisberger started at the back of the pack, didn't get a lap time in for qualifying, started back in 17th, and throughout this feature event, he's been able to work himself through a ton of traffic and now finds himself just on the outside of the top 3 looking in here, and we're only 25 laps into this race, 26 this next time by the start-finish line, and as he works himself up towards the front of the field, he's bringing that 0-7 ride of Justin Lewis right there with him as Jack Coleman slides back to 6, and our championship hopeful who came in here with that points lead on the evening, Anthony Calatoni, was able to lead some laps early in this race, now sliding back here into the 7th position. Now this is what we were talking about early in the race. Do you push the car hard early? You know, those first 10, 15 laps, you can burn up your equipment pretty good, where you really start to feel that heat. You start to slide backwards here later in the run. So maybe that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing it out of Anthony Calatoni. We saw it a little bit out of Christian Angel. We saw some of these other drivers slide back, as now we do see other drivers head down pit side, and a caution flag on the speedway. Yellow flag out there on the racetrack, and we do see Christian Angel down pit side. So maybe a good call for some drivers, maybe a bad call for some others, but you see the 60 up on the high side here. Looks like things are just gonna, heavy contact. That's one of our championship hopefuls right there. The 88 rider Clay Cantrell also getting a big piece of that one. Pretty heavy damage there for that 88 ride. Let's see if we can take another look at this one. I'm not sure if one of them came down the racetrack or if another one came up. This is an interesting little bit of contact here between the two of these competitors. Lay down low, the 60 ride up on the high side here, and as they come out of corner number 4, Clay's coming up. The 60 ride looks like maybe he gets a little bit loose. Yeah, I don't know if he gets loose or if it's just the angle that he's coming down off the wall towards the tri-oval. Either way, no matter what, both these drivers, they come together and spins the 60 right around, spins the 88 himself around right there as they go skidding down out of quarter number 4 and through the infield grass here. Luckily enough, both drivers with minimal contact, minimal damage there, and luckily enough, no additional contact, no additional damage there for either driver getting hit by any of the other competitors out there on the racetrack or making harder contact with one of our outside walls there through the tri-oval. But unfortunately for both Christian Angel and for Clay Cantrell, they're both down pit road getting some work done to their runs. As the rest of the field will roll down pit road, they'll get some work done as well, and we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments. See if we can get one of our championship drivers up here into the booth. Let's see if we can get one up here. Let me see here. Where are they at? Where are they at? Where is some of our top 3 here? We see Clay in there, so let's see if we can get Clay Cantrell up here into the booth. He was just part of that wreck there in the 88. Definitely not the way he wanted things to get started on the day. Let's see if we can get Clay up here into the broadcast booth. Hey Clay, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Got you, brother.
Clay, brother, a little bit of a rough start here this one. We saw you just get collected there with that first caution flag of the day, but, you know, not the best qualifying attempt for you. You know, just inside the top 10, and then we saw you hanging out right around there, around that 10th position for a lot of this first run. You know, how you feeling knowing that you still got a lot of ground to make up? You got to figure out a way to gain that 12 points over Anthony Calatoni to try to pick up the pick up the championship here this evening.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a tough feat since we only had, you know, I think 17, 18 cars show up tonight, which that's a combination of the last race of the year, so some people don't have a dog in the hunt. Plus, you got Daytona going on tonight. Plus, just the officials are at Daytona, right? So I think it hurt our car count a little bit. So we're pretty much out of it championship-wise. It's kind of a Kyle Larson 2022 Coke 600 start. Like, whatever could go wrong went wrong. Coming out, I had good, you know, speed, and I figured I was going to qualify top 5. Spun it on the out lap. I mean, not even pushing it hard. So I was like, all right, we're already starting in the trash. And then right there on the first run, I blew the right front off. I thought I was saving, was not saving enough, and then I'm not sure what happened coming off of 4 there. I mean, I don't know if I crowded him, he crowded me, or what. I just know all of a sudden I was spinning through the infield. So it is what it is. We kept it out of the fence. We don't have any damage, but definitely a little bit of ground to make up here. So we're gonna have to start shoveling.
Absolutely, brother. Well, there's nowhere to go but up now. Is rough way to start this championship night, but hopefully, you know, we'll see you up here before the end of the evening again. Hopefully, maybe we'll see you up here in Victory Lane and possibly being our champion on the season.
Sounds good, man. Hopefully we got something figured out.
All right, well, good luck out there, and have fun, and hopefully we'll see you back up here.
Sounds good, man.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Clay Cantrell as one of our championship hopefuls here on the evening. Already getting caught up in our first and only caution flag of the evening, but has been hanging out around that 10th, 11th, 12th position here throughout this feature event. He's going to have to try to make up some ground here if he wants to have a say in this race for the championship, as he came into the evening 12 points behind our champion leader, our championship leader, the 84 Anthony Calatoni. There they are right there. Anthony is that points leader coming into the night. The 88 ride was 12 points back, trying to hunt him down in the 07. Justin Lewis was 14 points back of the points leader here on the evening. He's up inside the top 30 right now as he got a good restart, but so didn't Wesley Donaldson, as Donaldson once again to the front of the field looking at trying to pull away with this one, as Steve Tucker right there in position number 2. Yo, Cody DeForge coming in not only with the like on the stream, but Matthew Glenn, Black Phoenix, Caleb Ramsey, my boy Nicholas Merkley. Nick coming in, showing the big love as well with the resubscribe, coming in, smashing that sub button, coming in, resubscribing for 1 year and 8 months of being a subscriber here on the PeaceMaker channel, coming in, showing the big love. I appreciate you, Slick Nick. Brother, good luck, man. You've been looking good. You've been looking very racy in that Sportsman, man, and I'm sure, you know, man, you're going to pick up at least a few more checkered flags in real-life racing before the end of this season. But, man, we can't wait to see you back in action here for the iRacing season as well, once winter rolls around for us up here in Canada. I appreciate you coming in, hitting that sub button, and hitting that like on the stream as well. As door-to-door racing down across the line, Donaldson able to hang on to that race lead, but the one ride looking to try to jump up and take this lead away is Steve Tucker. Now to the point here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So Steve Tucker out in front. Wesley Donaldson slides back to position number 2 with Justin Lewis. Charles Van Schaik there in position number 4. You see Zach Roethlisberger there in that 5th spot. Here comes the 27 of Brett Patterson there in 6th. Chad Coleman, Clay Cantrell, Christian Proctor, Anthony Calatoni, our top 10 out there on the racetrack. Is so our point leader coming into the evening, who started off the night on the right foot, led, you know, about the first 10, 12 laps of this race. Looked very, very racy, but now sliding backwards here, even after those green flag pit stops. The 84 ride finds himself back here, just hanging on to a top 10 here as he's in that 10th position on the racetrack, and that's kind of exactly what Clay Cantrell and Justin Lewis want to see, but they need to try to work themselves to the front of the field, hope that the 84 ride still has a rough night. Calatoni just hanging on here. He knows he's just got to stay within striking distance. If he can stay within, 3 or 4 positions, maybe 5 positions of Clay Cantrell, and, the same difference between him and Justin Lewis, he could potentially pick up that championship. Not even have to race for the win, not have to race to beat those guys. He's just got to stay close enough to where they cannot leapfrog him and beat him in these point standings. So he came into the game. He's got a game plan. I'm sure he's going to tackle it. We'll see if we can get the 84 ride up here and into the broadcast booth before the end of the evening, maybe during the next caution flag if they're on the racetrack, as he's in there. So we can pull him in as well. So we will try to pull Anthony in. We'll try to pull Justin Lewis in at some point this evening as well, so we can get our top 3 drivers battling for the championship up into the booth here for some in-race interviews, and then obviously we'll talk to those 3 after the race, as well as our top 3 finishing drivers on the evening, as well as I know all those drivers are looking fierce out there on the speedway. Steve Tucker, though, looking to try to pick up the win here in our final race of our inaugural season here with the MNT Cup Series. Donaldson there in second, and then we see Brett Patterson, Charles Van Schaik, Zach Roethlisberger, our top 5 out here on the speedway, as my boy Frank Ranger, what's good, Mr. Ranger? Frank coming in, showing the love, says, what's up, Peace? What's up, Frank? What's up, Mr. Ranger? Frank coming in, showing the love as well, smashing that heart reaction. How are you, Frank? How are you, brother? Coming in, showing the love here in this one, as, man, some great racing already here on the evening, man. We saw some great racing with the Dirt Clash Super Street Series Monday or Friday Night Lights. I keep getting those 2 mixed up. The Dirt Clash Super Street Series Friday Night Lights race that happened just before this broadcast, man. We saw some great racing there, only a couple caution flags and some great battling, and then here you go, right into this one. These guys put on a heck of a race, a heck of a show here for us. We saw, Wes Donaldson lead some laps. We see Steve Tucker now at the front of the field. Brett Patterson having himself a race up into position number 2 now, looking to try to hunt down our race leader. We saw Zach Roethlisberger picking up lots of spots after starting at the rear of the field, putting himself up into contention. We see now Christian Proctor starting to work himself up towards the front, as well as Justin Lewis, Anthony Calatoni, and Clay Cantrell all duking it out here for that championship. We saw Calatoni already leading some laps here on the evening as he started on the outside of the front row, quickly grabbed that race lead, led about the first 10 to 12 laps of this race, and then unfortunately since then has slid back. So I'm not sure if it's just strategy, maybe some pit strategy, trying to save some tires for late in the race, or what they may be doing here on that 84 run, or maybe just trying to play it a little bit more conservative on this second run of the day, maybe trying to take it a little bit easier and to start the run, come on strong late on the run, and really gain some spots towards the bottom half of this tire set. And right now he's looking like he's trying to reel back in that 88 ride. Clay Cantrell, he's kind of struggled here at the start of this race. We saw him already go around once, have those issues there to bring out our first caution flag, as him and the 60 ride of Christian Angel got together and they both went around, and unfortunately Christian Angel's took in his car right off the speedway, so a tough break for that 60 ride. But in front, having himself a day here already at the speedway. Steve Tucker out in front, continuing to lead the way here is Sean's Detail coming in, showing the love. What's good, Sean? Sean coming in, showing the love with the like on the stream as well. How are you, Sean? Sean coming in, so matching the thumbs up here on the broadcast. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make sure you guys jump up into the comment section right now. Jump up into the chat. Let us know who you want to see up here in victory lane. Who do you want to see pick up the checker flag here today? And who do you think is going to be able to pull off that championship? Does the 84 ride hang on to it, pick up the championship, or can Clay Cantrell, the 88, or Justin Lewis in that 07 find their way around him in the point standings here on our championship race, our final race of the season here, our first season, inaugural season with the MNT Cup Series. It's all going to come to a close here in about 80 3 laps here down across the line, about 83 laps away from seeing our final checker flag here of the season. Then these drivers will take a couple weeks off. They'll get a little bit of a break in. They'll probably put up a couple recruitment races, get some more drivers, find some more talented competitors to join this field and battle with these guys. And then season number 2 will get underway, man. It's going to be a ton of fun. But out in front right now, Steve Tucker continuing to lead the way. The Harpoon Designs #1 right at the front of the field as we're going to jump into a quick PeaceMaker Gaming. Crank it up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Crank up that volume. Cheer on your favorite driver as we crank it up here this evening. Mike Peters, what's good, Mike? Mike coming and showing the love. How are you, Mike? Mike, where the heck are you, brother? We got racing going on, my boy. We got racing going on, and you're not out there. for all these drivers. A beautiful crank it up session here on the evening as the drivers put on a heck of a show so far here in this race. Man, it has been duking out there on the racetrack, and right now you see our top three right there, nose to tail at the front of the speedway. It is the 91 rider Wesley Donaldson who continues to show these drivers how to get it done. Donaldson at the front of the field. He's got the 00 of Charles Van Schaik right there behind him, and Zach Roethlisberger there in position number 3. We saw Roethlisberger lead a couple laps there. We saw Van Schaik right there trying to take this race lead away from the 91 ride, but they've been playing cat and mouse here at the front of the field for quite a little while. They've opened up a gap now between themselves and the 1 rider, Steve Tucker, as Tucker trying to hold on to position number 4 out there on the racetrack. The number 15 of Jack Coleman, though, trying to take that 4 spot away from him. Justin Lewis trying to put himself up inside the top 5 as we start to see some green flag pit stops here once again. Todd Merkel just coming back out onto the racetrack after a green flag pit stop. We did see William Burton run into issues on the racetrack as well, and he's taking that car off the speedway, so it's off break for the 83 ride. Let's see if we can get a look here. What happened to William Burton in this 83 as Stringer crank it up, just lose the handle of it, coming off corner number 4, gets into the grass, then hard up into the outside fence. Is gonna spin it around, loop it around right there at the start-finish line, and off the speedway. Unfortunately, no caution flag for the 83. He takes it down pit side, extensive damage there for that number 83 machine. He's took his car back down behind pit wall, so a tough break for him. It's out in front. Charles Van Schaik able to lead a lap right there as he's able to work himself around the 91, but Zach Roethlisberger right there to take advantage of it as well as he jumps up into position number 1 now on the speedway. The 00, the GOAT Racing diecast ride back to position number 2 as the WBD diecast number 91 of Wesley Donaldson there in 3rd. Jack Coleman up into 4th here. He's been able to clear that 1 right of Steve Tucker, and since he did, he has worked himself right into this battle at the front of the field here. Still a bit of a gap back between himself and Justin Lewis as Lewis is able to work himself around the 1 ride of Tucker as well. Anthony Calatoni starting to work himself back up through the top 10 here. Is this exactly what we expected out of this 84 ride as he took it pretty easy early on in this run. We saw at the beginning of the initial start, he went very, very hard. Unfortunately, slid back before the end of that first run, and then all of a sudden here in this one, he's kind of played it back a little bit, hung out a little deeper in the field, took it easy here for that first, 15, 20, 25 laps of this second bit of a run that we've had since that caution flag, and he's been able to work himself now back up about 5 spots from where he was. Now finds himself sitting there in 7th, and one of the fastest cars out there on the speedway as of right now. So maybe some good strategy plays out of this 84 rider, Anthony Calatoni, trying to set himself up for picking up this championship here this evening as he came into the night with a 12-point advantage above Clay Cantrell, who's right there behind him in the 88 ride, as Cantrell back here in 8th. And we see Justin Lewis there in 7th, who's now 1 spot in front of our points leader here on the evening as the 84, the Talking Giants, Sean Boy Media. Number 84 ride of Anthony Calatoni jumps up into the 6th position. He's worked himself around the Harpoon Designs number 1 ride of Steve Tucker. Tucker slides back there to position number 7 here on the speedways. Out in front, Zach Roethlisberger continues to lead the way. Roethlisberger here at the front of the field as Charles Van Schaik there in position number 2. Wesley Donaldson, Chad Coolman, our top 4 here on the racetrack is Justin Lewis, championship hopefuls rolling there in position number 5. Now the big question is going to be, we've seen some drivers already make their way down pit road here. Is it a little too early? Is it a little too late? What do you do? When do you come down pit sideways? We do see Brent Patterson, I do believe, made a mistake down pit road. He's actually now a couple laps down in this 27 ride, so that one may hurt his odds on the evening. May need a bunch of quick caution flags to try to work himself back onto the lead lap here this evening as the 6th ride, Zach Roethlisberger, continues to lead the way as we are over 50% of the way through this race here. 50% of this race already done and gone with. We're working on the second half of this broadcast already because these guys are putting down some great lap times, laying down amazing laps, doing a great job out there. Very clean, very respectful racing here between all of these drivers on our championship night. Now, there's a lot of guys up here towards the front of the field that aren't necessarily battling for points for championship-wise. They may not be getting points to pick up a championship, but there's a lot of points on the line for drivers trying to leapfrog one another, see if they can try to pick up some positions, see if they can better their spot here in those point standings. And as I said, we're missing a lot of drivers here this evening. There's a lot of guys that unfortunately did not show up here tonight. So, I mean, we're missing a ton of cars. We've had 73 drivers take the green flag here in the series here for our inaugural season, and for the final race, they only have 17 show up. A little disappointing, but it's to happen. And there's a lot of one-off drivers came in for one race or so and haven't came back. But you look through some of them, like Mark Whitley and some of these other ones. Obviously, Christian Proctor, this is his second race of the season. Billy Hensley not here. Matt Swoop not here. You look through Randy Sprouse at Randall Taylor, drivers that had some good runs, had some good speed, not in attendance here on the evening. And the one-on-one race, wish we could see him out here for a couple more. Hopefully we'll see them all back in contention here for our championship race at the end of the season. We look through at drivers that were here for a lot of races early on. Keith Fonseca, Brian Messer, Joey Lamb, all of our Mud Duck Racing guys. We don't have AJ Cruz out there, Caleb Ramsey, no Jeremy Paris out there, Joshua Small, Jackson Glenn Austin not out there. There's so many guys that are usually in contention each and every single week. Fred Anderson, Hunter Cole, Corey Rainey, Jake Stinson. A lot of these guys. Brock Page, Storm Patterson, man, there's so many good cars that you would have expected here for this final race. Alec Martinez, Clark Jenikin, some of these guys that have won races that are very, very good competitors and not showing up here tonight. It kind of sucks. Kind of sucks a little bit, but it's getting close to summer, so everyone's trying to enjoy that last little bit of vacation, that last little bit of the summer breezes out there, and maybe enjoying some real life racing that's going on right now as well. As I know there's some tracks that operate Friday nights, and obviously we got the NASCAR race that's happening tonight as well, so drivers could be attending that or not. But we do see our second caution flag of the day going to be displayed here, and it looks like the one ride of Steve Tucker running into some issues here. The Harpoon Designs race day number 1 ride going to run into some issues here. It was the inside lane. I thought he was trying to get checked up here to go down pit road, and I think maybe he just timed it a little bit wrong, and as he hit the track here, front note's just going to dig in. He's still not leveling out where he comes down and onto the apron. As he does, it kind of just bottoms out right there. You see the sparks flying, and that kind of just digs the car in and then just sends him up the racetrack here and hard up into that outside fence there in corner number 4. That's a heavy hit for the one machine. That's definitely not the way he wanted things to go after leading quite a few laps here on the evening. He led laps, was at the front of the field, looking strong here throughout the day, and one of those mistakes that you gotta try to minimize. See those sparks right there. Car just bottoms out. Unfortunately, it looks like it just kind of digs in and washes up the speedway, and man, that's a big hit up into the safer barriers right there. Hopefully he's A-okay, and hopefully he can keep that car rolling out there on the speedway. But nonetheless, we do see pretty much everybody else that was yet to come down pit side. They are now heading down pit road, and make sure they get some fresh tires, some fuel into their cars, and back out there onto the racetrack. And we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a couple more moments. So we'll get loaded back up and ready to rock and roll. Let's see if we can get one of our championship drivers up here into the booth. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pull our 4th place driver on the field, the Tuckin Giants number 84, Ryan Anthony Calatoni, up here into the broadcast booth for an in-race interview as he's trying to hunt down this championship. Hey, Anthony, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
How we doing?
Not too bad. Anthony, brother, So far, a pretty nerve-wracking race. A couple caution flags. Luckily enough, you've been far enough away from. You haven't had to really play dodge car or anything out there on the racetrack, but some pit strategy, you know, some pretty good long runs. We saw you kind of falling back after that first one, and then here on the second run, you know, you kind of started to work yourself back towards the front of the field, kind of going from hard at the start of a run, and then that second run taking a little easier and coming on strong later. You know, how's the strategy working out for you on the evening? How's the mind right now, knowing that you could potentially be about 50 laps away from picking up the inaugural championship here this evening?
The mindset is just trying to keep the right rear on the car. It's burning off pretty quick. That's why I laid back there this run, that last run there, just trying to save it, and somehow still ended up burning it off. But we're gonna keep at her. We're gonna keep her in one piece, and hopefully we're gonna bring her home tonight.
Absolutely. Well, a minimal car count here this evening. Not a whole lot of drivers showing up, making your job that much easier. Where if we were to see, 30 or 40 drivers here, and you run into an issue late in the race, definitely, makes it that much more nerve-wracking. But knowing that there's, only, I think 15 cars even left rolling on the speedway right now, because I think William Burton and Christian Angel have both taken their cars down pit road, and I think Steve Tucker still down there as well. It may be yours to lose with just trying to keep yourself in front of 2 or 3 drivers. Maybe all you need to do to pick up the championship.
Absolutely. Just it's racing. You never know what's going to happen.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to seeing how this all plays out for you, and hopefully we'll see a backup here in the broadcast booth at the end of the night, not only as a good finisher on the evening, but potentially our champion here on the MNT Cup Series.
Let's we're gonna try, and hopefully we can hold them off, and hopefully we see you here in 53 laps.
Beauty. Anthony, good luck out there. Have fun, and good luck.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Mr. Anthony Galatoni as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here. Just a moment. These drivers will get ready to go back to battle. They'll get ready to duke it out once again on the speedway. As at the front of the field, Zach Roethlisberger with a good quick pit stop, able to come out in that top spot here. He will be the control car on the restart. Chad Coleman will start in position number 2 with Anthony Galatoni there in 3rd. Then we see Justin Lewis, Clay Cantrell right there behind him, and there are a couple drivers that are part of that championship hunt here on the evening, but both of them right now on the outside of that 84 run. That's exactly where he hopes to keep me all evening long, as Joshua Yarborough right there as well. Christian Proctor, Derek Catt, Bradley King, Todd Merkel. Our top 10 here on the speedway is Brett Patterson, Kerry Klein, Charles Van Schick, Wesley Donaldson. Our top 14 here on the speedway is Steve Tucker down pit side, William Burton off the racetrack, and Christian Angel also off the speedways. We're going to go back to green flag racing. Is down through the Geico restart zone. Zach Roethlisberger will see that green flag fly. He'll put his foot to the throttle and look to try to run away here with this feature event on the evening. It's the green flag coming back out, almost 80 laps in and 50 laps left to go here. About 51 laps left up on the board here as they head down the back straightaway, clean and green, as you do see the 07 of Justin Lewis getting in front of our championship points leader, the 84 of Anthony Galatoni. Galatoni kind of stuck right here in a sandwich between the 2 drivers that are trying to hunt him down for this championship here on the evening. So definitely a tough spot for him to be, knowing that car problem is trying to gain 14 points. The car behind him is trying to gain 12 points. Then tie him for that championship. They would need to gain 13 points and 15 points to respectively pass the 84 for that points lead and the championship here on the evening. So they're going to need a tough day out of the 84 ride to try to knock him off as our champion here for the season. As this is our championship race, we will crown our champion no matter what here at the end of the evening. But it's definitely going to be a nerve-wracking final 50 laps or so here for that 84 ride of Anthony Galatoni, as he knows he's just got to kind of stay out of trouble, keep that car pointing in the right direction, not run into any issues, and he should be A-okay. Just kind of set on cruise control here and keep himself out of trouble, keep himself towards the top 10. And he'll be able to pick up that championship. I think that's exactly what he's trying to do. And I excuse myself for yawning there a little bit right there. I don't know why we're tired, but we're tired. We woke up early today trying to get ourselves back onto a half-decent sleep schedule here. I'm getting sick and tired of staying up till 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning before going to bed. Keep trying to go to bed early. Man, I just cannot fall asleep, and I tend to not fall asleep until the sun out, the birds are chirping, it's sunny out, and that just drives me crazy. Can't do it. I gotta switch it up. And Zach Roethlisberger continuing to lead the way here at the front of the field. The Brad Keselowski inspired paint scheme, the Consumer Cellular 6 ride at the front of the field, continuing to lead the way is the 15 ride, having himself an evening. Jack Coleman in the AC Delco machine, sitting there in position number 2, having a great race and a great run here on the evening for that number 15 ride is Justin Lewis. There in third, Clay Cantrell now up into position number 4. Anthony Galatoni slides back to 5th as the 04 of Christian Proctor. There in 6th, the 77 of Joshua Yarborough. There in position number 7. Derek Catt having himself a good run here in the 21 as he rolls there in position number 8. Then we see Wesley Donaldson back in 9th. Brad Patterson, Todd Merkel, the 00 of Charles Van Schaik. Harry Klein, Bradley King are top 14 here on the speedways. Unfortunately, Steve Tucker still down pit side, but looks like he's going to roll back out onto the racetrack right now. So good to see the Race Day Toyota roll back out onto the racetrack. Unfortunately for him, he's about 10 laps down, maybe almost 11 laps down here is already Burton and Angel both out of this one. As here comes our race leaders, we do see a pass at the front of the field, as well as the 6-rider Roethlisberger is going to give that lead up, and the AC Delco number 15 of Chad Coleman is going to jump up and take this race lead away. So Coleman to the point here now at the front of the field as Roethlisberger slides back to 2nd. Lewis there is 3rd. The 88 of Clay Cantrell there in position number 4. And looking for more, Anthony Galatoni there in position number 5. And you see that 04, Proctor, Yarborough, Catt, Donaldson, and Peterson are top 10 here on the speedway. As Coleman at the front of the pack trying to open up a little bit of a lead here as the 15 machine out in front, got a car length or so between himself and that 6-rider Zach Roethlisberger, as we do see some issues here. Looks like Derek Catt off the racetrack. Looks like Derek Catt may have ran into some issues here. Pretty good contact for that 21 riders. Yeah, it looks like, I'm not sure what happened here. Steve Tucker down low in the Harpoon number 1 ride. Bottom side of the racetrack, just came back onto the racetrack after heavy contact, heavy damage for that 1 ride right down here in 3 and 4, and he's just gonna wash up the racetrack here and get into the 21 ride. Let's see if we can play this a little bit quicker. Take a look at this one. He's gonna run out of room. 21 gets up into the fence and get up into the fence again. The 1 comes down the racetrack hard into the 21. That keeps it rolling, keeps it out on the racetrack and pointing in the right direction. The 1 right, hard into the inside wall right there. Very dangerous hit right there for these guys. A very tough break. Just saw the 1 get back out onto the racetrack as well, so I'm not sure if potential damage that was still on that car that wasn't fully completed or something else that may have broken there for that 1 machine, but nonetheless he has that issue and ends up down pit side once again. So that's a tough break for him. Tough break for Derek Catt. See if we get another look at this one here. Jump right on board with Steve Tucker and him rolling here. The car just traveling up the racetrack. He's trying to turn it left, and the car just keeps traveling up, and then contact again, and then Unfortunately, just going to try to get into his pit stall. Can't get it stopped and goes right into this inside fence right there. Heavy contact for him. And that one may be the end of his evening, and I do believe it is. Looks like he has taken that car off of the speedways. Out in front, Zach Roethlisberger able to jump back out in front here. So Roethlisberger leading the way. Justin Lewis there in second. Coleman back into third. Clay Cantrell there in fourth as the 77 of Joshua Yarborough there in fifth. And we see Christian Bracker there in sixth. Anthony Calatoni back in seventh. Wesley Donaldson, Brett Patterson, Kerry Klein, our top 10 here on the speedway as Roethlisberger leads the way here at Charlotte. We're going to jump into another quick PeaceMaker Gaming Crank It Up. over 100 laps done here on the evening as another beautiful crank it up here. Possibly our final crank it up of the season here with the MNT Cup Series. They give us a good look at the sights and sounds around the beautiful Charlotte Motor Speedway here this evening in our championship race. It's out in front. It's the sixth ride. Zach Roethlisberger continuing to lead the way. Roethlisberger at the front of the field here in that sixth machine. The Consumer Cellular number 6 ride leads the way. Justin Lewis right there in second. And we see the number 15, the Chad Coleman, rolling there in third. Clayton Cantrell in that 5th position on the racetrack, doing a great job there in position number 5. But the laps are counting down here on the evening, and we're getting closer and closer to our checkered flag and to what could be our champion here in the MNT Cup Series, as we do see green flag pit stops starting to get underway here. You see the 88 ride head down pit road. Now we may see an onslaught or maybe a little bit of pit strategy coming out of the 88 ride. We'll see Brett Patterson down pit side. We see the 44 of Kerry Klein and the Bobcat ride headed down pit road as well. So pit strategy may come into effect here. We'll have to wait and see how long some of our other front runners will wait until they head down pit side. Will they stay out there for a few more laps, or will they try to hold on here for the rest of this race without maybe coming down to pit side? We do see Justin Lewis. It's another one of our points championship contenders here on the evening. Justin Lewis came into the night only 14 points back of tying our points leader, and Clay Cantrell came in only 12 points back of tying our points leader. And we see Anthony Galatoni currently right now in the 5th position, still rolling out there on the speedway. He's yet to make a pit stop, and it could be an interesting effect here. And, you know, he's got to be very, very careful. Going to hit his marks. Can't make a mistake down pit side when and if he comes down pit road. As we may see, last couple times we started to see green flag pit stops start to come out. We saw caution flags on the speedway. So we'll have to wait and see if we see another yellow flag or if this one stays clean and green here for the rest of the evening, and have to see these drivers make that hard left-hand turn down pit road. We do see Chad Coleman in the AC Delco ride. He's down pit side. Joshua Yarborough having himself a great run. He's down pit side here as well in the 77 ride. So a couple different strategies being played right now. To wait and see how it all plays out. As here you go. Here comes our points leader, the number 84 of Anthony Galatoni down pit side. Zach Roethlisberger also down pit road as well in that 6th machine. Now he did get the very last pit stall here. Pit stall number 17 as he started at the rear of the field. And here as we take these green flag pit stops was our race leader. It came down a couple laps later than a few of our other drivers, including Justin Lewis and Clay Cantrell. So we'll have to wait and see if that will leapfrog them around each other and see if maybe Justin Lewis will be our front runner, and it looks like he will as Roethlisberger just starts rolling onto the speedway. Same with Anthony Galatoni. They just starting to build up speed and momentum. Justin Lewis already fired down the back straightaway here into quarter number 3, so he's actually picked up a spot. So as Chad Coleman and Roethlisberger down 2 spots already just through pit cycle. That may come back to hurt that number 6 ride and his potential picking up this win and having himself a good run to finish off the season. Anthony Galatoni back there. What would be position number 5 as we're yet to see Charles Van Schaik, Christian Prachter, or Derek Cat come down pit road, where everyone else has made those green flag pit stops. We'll have to wait and see when our race leader right now, the GOAT Racing Diecast 00 ride of Charles Van Schaik, that's out in front. He is going to come down pit side this time. He's got to get checked up though. He was coming in almost a little too hot, but maybe getting that thing checked up as the 04 ride, the Minions machine of Christian Prachter, will take this race lead away. So Prachter now at the front of the field here. Really, drivers have to get it done. Derek Cat right there in position number 2 on the racetrack here in the 81 ride. Charles Van Schaik, who just came down pit road. We'll see if he can come out in front of those other drivers he was battling with. There goes Justin Lewis. Chad Coleman going to go around him as well. He's still down pit side. Who else is going to get by this 00? As he played this strategy right, as there goes Zach Roethlisberger, Wesley Donaldson, Anthony Galatoni. And unfortunately for that number 00 ride. He's going to slide all the way back to about the 9th position here, but did gain a little bit, not too much. Still waiting for Proctor and Derek Cat to come down pit side and cycle this one through. Or do we see them stay out? I don't know if they can make it the whole way or not. You do see the 04 looking to the apron there. And he is going to come down pit side himself. So Christian Proctor down pit road. Does the 21 ride have enough gas in his car? Could they make it the rest of the way? I don't think they could make it 50 laps, but could be interesting. Whole season comes down to a 20-lap sprint at Charlotte. It's like a session of Carburetor Cup to dedicate it all, to decide it all. Yeah, 100%. It's kind of like the Carburetor Cup for certain, just to decide things off here. Everyone's kind of on the same balanced playing field. I mean, give or take a lap or two on tires out there on the speedway, but yeah, it really does come down a 20-lap shootout. Now, it'd be a little bit more of a shootout or a little bit more of a, a sprint to the end if we, saw another caution flag, drop these drivers back in together, put them right on top of each other. But I think it's tough sledding here. I think it might be chalked. Only having 17 cars here on the night show up, I think that kind of chalked it for any of those drivers that were trying to catch up to Anthony Calatoni. When you look at Justin Lewis, who had to gain, basically 15 positions over what over what Anthony Calatoni would get. That's a lot of points. It's a lot of positions on the racetrack that you would have to overcome. And unfortunately, for Justin Lewis, 14 spots to make out there with only 17 drivers is tough to do. And same with Clay Cantrell, who runs in the 7th spot right now. Came into this race needing, he was 12 points back, but needed basically 13 positions to pick up those spots to be able to beat, the 84 ride here for the championship. And I think just once again with that low car count, it's going to be tough to do, especially now with Steve Tucker off the speedway, William Burton off the speedway, and Christian Angel also off the racetrack. So we only actually have about 14 eligible positions out there on the speedway for someone to make up or give back, and it's going to be very, very tough for any of those guys to make up the gaps that they have to cover here this evening, as we do see a late race caution flag fly. Charles Van Schick running into issues here as the 00 ride coming out of corner number 2 just comes off the racetrack a little bit right there. I'm not sure if he was just realizing that the 2 and the 27 running together maybe was just a little closer than he was anticipating, and things getting checked up for both of them as there's almost a little contact between the 2 and the 27, but I think as they kind of get close together and up the racetrack, it opens up the bottom for the 00, and the 2 ride kind of comes down right there too. That's a bit of a tough angle, tough look at it, but the 2 maybe trying to come down to see if he can get a little bit of a draft and get slotted in behind the 00 ride, and unfortunately, not sure if that one's going to work out as a bit of a tough one. Where's that 2 ride? There's Todd Merkel. We can get a look at this one as, yeah, he just comes out of corner 4. I don't know if he just loses the rear end or not, but unfortunately, as he comes down there a little bit, just makes contact there with that 00 ride. Both drivers hard up into the outside fence, and pretty extensive damage for both competitors, and that may take them out of their opportunities to pick up a win on the evening as drivers head down pit road. They're going to get some more work done to their rides. They're going to make sure they get some extra tires on here and everything else. And now we truly do have a dash for cash here at the end of the evening. A little bit of the sprint to the end for these Sprint Cup cars as, it's season finale. Definitely the Carburetor Cup to decide it all now. It's definitely going to be an interesting one, man, as coming out of the pits, our top 3 in the point standings are sitting in the 4th, 5th, and 6th position, rolling back onto the racetrack, and they are currently 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in those point standings. So Lewis and Cantrell both need something catastrophic to happen here to the 84 ride of Anthony Calatoni. If they have any fight in this race, they need something to happen here to this 84 ride that potentially takes him out of this feature event. And then all he's got to do is just kind of play it smart, play it safe, keep yourself out of trouble, keep yourself from going a lap down, I think he's got it in the bag. You know, they got to gain a ton of positions on him, a ton of points. I don't know if they're going to be able to find it out there. If he can just stay inside the top 10, I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be possible for one of these other competitors that are fighting for this championship to figure out a way to get around him and get the win and get all the bonus points and get everything else that they need to try to pick up the win and the championship. I just don't think it's going to be there for them. It's going to be very interesting. Tire saving down, sending it up. Yes, Sirski. Yes, Sirski, that is 100% true. Tire saving definitely no longer a worry. Sending it 100% full throttle now. There's not going to be a whole lot of letting off out there on the racetrack. These guys are going to be flat-footing her all the way around. All right, as we'll get ready to go back to battle here. Lights are still on the pace car as what are the point standings as we get ready to send it here. So right now at the start of this race, Anthony Galatoni had a 12-point advantage, 12 points above Clay Cantrell. So he's 12 points up to this point ahead of the 88 ride who's right here behind him, and he had 14 points above Justin Lewis. So Lewis is 2 points back of the 88, and the 88 is 12 points back of our points leader here. So there's a lot of points they got to make up, and there's not a lot of cars on the racetrack to get those lucky breaks or to have everything fall in line where something would happen catastrophically to the 84 ride where he would finish back in the 12th, 13th, 14th position, and where Justin Lewis or Clay Cantrell would basically have to win this race for them to have an opportunity to win this championship. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see how this is going to play out late in this race. And when pushing comes to shoving, wild things happen here. And we haven't seen a lot of it in the MNT Cup Series. Normally very respectful, very hard-nosed racing. But they'll go door to door. They'll scrape a little bit. But normally we don't see anything too catastrophic if they're on the racetrack, unless if it's super speedway racing. But I can't say we're going to see anything different here. But championship on the line, especially the inaugural championship, putting your name as the first champion here in the history books. That's a big thing to do here, especially for all these drivers that have been around the sim for a long, long time. They finally get the opportunity to get it done. When you look at Zach Roethlisberger, you look at that number 84 of Anthony Galatoni, Clay Cantrell, Justin Lewis. They're guys that are all looking to try to put themselves into the best position possible here for this championship fight. And no Justin Bentley, no Dale Miller, so our 4th and 5th place drivers in the championship are in the race. Wesley Donaldson, he is in the race. He's back in the sixth spot in the point standings. Mike Peters not here as well. He's in 7th. Roethlisberger here in the field. They're in the 6th ride, and then no AJ Cruz, Hunter Kent out there on the racetrack either. So a lot of our top 10 not in attendance here this evening, but the top 3 that matter the most here for the championship are ready to duke it out as the green flag back out into the air here for what could be our final restart of the season for the MNT Cup Series. 10 laps left to go here for these drivers. In the AC Delco number 15 at the front of the field is Chad Coleman trying to pick up the win here this evening. Zach Roethlisberger right there as well in that number 6 ride. He rolls into position number 2 and looking for the race lead out of corner number 3 and 4. Coleman will slide back to position number 2 as here comes Anthony Galatoni and the 91 ride of Wesley Donaldson is there door to door right there behind him in position number 3 and 4 on the racetrack, and then you see Justin Lewis in the 07, the 88 of Clay Cantrell right there in position number 6. They're both working their way towards the front of the field here, knowing that they need to be at least in front of the 84 ride to have an opportunity, and possibly, if he gets back there deep enough, may run into issues, and you don't want to do what he just did. It's Galatoni got up into the outside fence ever so slightly right there. That kind of nice drive off. He had to roll out the throttle there a little bit on corner exit of corner number 4. Luckily enough, doesn't look like too much damage, but you don't want to test your fate with that too many times. especially late in this one. You don't want to have a catastrophic failure late in this race when you're driving at home trying to pick up the championship. Got to make sure you keep your car out of trouble, minimize those mistakes. Even if the 07 ride right here can get around him, or the 88 of Clay Cantrell, if they're behind him right here only by a couple of cars, or a car or no cars, then you know, they're not going to be able to gain the points that they need to be able to leapfrog the 84 and steal this championship away. But they're all tough competitors, and even with the championship on the line or anything else, they still want to be up in victory lane. They want to be the winner of the race and everything else as much as they want to be the champion here. As again, we see the 88 get up into the outside fence here, or the 84 get up into the outside fence. That opens up the door here for the 07 and the 88 to both get around the Talkin' Giants John Boy Media number 84 ride. The 07 is going to make that pass. He will jump in front of Anthony Calatoni, and now the 88 ride of Clay Cantrell going to have to try to go to work here and figure out a way to get around this 84 ride as well, and then they may have to hope for a miracle that issues for drivers in front of them, and maybe issues for this 84 ride where he finishes outside the top 12 on the racetrack for either of them to have an opportunity here on the evening. Out in front, Chad Coleman leads the way here. Coleman at the front of the pack with only 5 more laps left to go. 5 more laps left to go as Mike says, remember too, with 2 drops, it will shake it up a little too. Maybe anyone's race all in to win. Yeah, it might be. I think they have it calculated with the 2 drops, but I'm not 100% sure. They may not have it without those drops, so it could be potentially even closer. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. I didn't take really that into effect. So, 8 starts, 9 starts, 8 starts, 9 starts. I don't know. That's going to be that's going to make things very, very interesting if that becomes an issue here on the evening. It may be a different winner. It may be a different winner here. I don't know if we can go by those point standings now, knowing that the drops may come into effect and may change the outcome of this final 3 competitors for that championship as Chad Coleman continues to lead the way. Coleman having himself a great day here at the Speedway. His 15 rides look very, very fast. He's been up at the front of the field here battling with some tough competitors throughout this feature event. He's looking to try to bring it home and put that AC Delco ride up into victory lane as Zach Roethlisberger there in second, Wesley Donaldson there in third, Justin Lewis there in fourth, Anthony Calatoni back there in fifth with Clay Cantrell there in 6th. Then we see Brett Patterson, Charles Van Schaik, Christian Brachter, Joshua Yarbrough, our top 10 here on the Speedway. Todd Merkel, Gary Klein, Derek Catt, Bradley King, Steve Tucker, William Burton, and Christian Angel rounding out our field here as we see that white flag fly. The final lap here on the MNT Cup Series season number 1. Our inaugural season coming to a close. Here is our final lap around the Speedway. Coleman out in front will lead us down the back straightaway for the final time here this season. As down through quarter number 3, nice and easy out of quarter number 4, Chad Coleman will pick up the win here at Charlotte Motor Speedway in our season finale. As he gets the win here, and we will get ready to see what the word is on our inaugural champion here with the MNT Cup Series is Roethlisberger coming home in second, Wesley Donaldson there in third, Justin Lewis in position number 4, Anthony Calatoni there in 5th, Clay Cantrell coming home in 6th. So 3 of our top 3 in the point standings all right there together. Lewis in 4th, Calatoni in 5th, Clay Cantrell there in 6th. So not a whole lot of gap between each of those competitors now. With drop races and everything else, it's going to be interesting to see who our champion is going to be. But we do know who our race winner is, and it's this 15 ride, the AC Delco machine of Chad Coleman. Coleman picking up the win here. Wowzers, what a great one. What a great one right there, man. That was a great run, great race here this evening as let Mr. Catman verify points. Yeah, we'll definitely let our boy Cat realize or make sure that any bonus points or anything else throughout the evening and everything else are complete before we pull in a champion or anything else. We'll pull our top 3 in for the race, and then we'll see who our champions are. Hopefully we'll know that number and know the winner here before the end of the broadcast. I'm sure we will, but we'll get our top 3 in first for some post-race interviews as the number 15 of Chad Coleman picking up the win here. We do see the driver still down pit road, but we'll get ready to pull this 15 in as the sun's starting to set, the fireworks going off here, finishing off an amazing season, an amazing race here with the MNT Cup Series, as this is America's home for racing, and it was a home for all the MNT Cup Series drivers here this evening, and man, they put on one heck of a run, one heck of a race here for us all evening long, as then we'll wait for our top 3 to hopefully jump up here into the booth. Let's see if we can find Chad Coleman. I'm not sure if Chad is in here or not. I don't know if that's Chad in the HP PC Discord. I'm not sure if that's him or not. Shows a C. All right, well, that's going to make things interesting. So I don't know if that's actually Chad Coleman or not. So we may have to pull our second place finisher up here as Mike Peters coming in, showing the love again. He has great run at the end there, and great season. Yeah, great season, great run by all these drivers, man. These guys put on a good show for us every single race, man. Just great racing, respectful racing, a lot of fun, a lot of back and forth out there, a lot of side-by-side action. We saw multiple races in the season go caution-free throughout the evening and everything else, and just making for some amazing action out there on the speedway. Now, we're waiting for our top 3 to jump up into the broadcast booth here, into the waiting room. I don't see our top 3 in there yet. We do see Roethlisberger up there, so, and Donaldson. We just don't have our race winner up here, so it's interesting. I don't know if that's Chad or not. I don't know if that's Chad Coleman or who that might be. I'm not sure if that's him or not. Well, we'll pull in our second place finisher for right now. Let's pull in P2, Zach Roethlisberger here. Zach comes home in position number 2. We'll pull him up into the broadcast booth. Actually, you know what? There we go. There is our race winner. Never mind. We will pull Chad Coleman up. I wasn't sure if that was Chad or not, so good we got to see that. So we will pull Chad Coleman up here into the broadcast booth here. The 15 machine picking up the win on the evening. Hey, Chad, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Chad, man, what a run and what a race here. Late in this one, that 15 machine really came to life, but you were strong here all evening long. But take us back through those final 10 laps, a late race restart. You know what's on the line. There's championship points, championship contenders right there behind you, battling for the championship, but you guys are still at the front of the field between you and Roethlisberger, Donaldson, battling not only for some extra playoff points here, or some extra points yourselves to finish off the season, but also battling for that final win here in our inaugural season, man. Take us back through it and how you got it done here tonight.
See, after we took those 2 tires during the green flag stops, I was gonna put on 4, and Wesley had the bright idea of just sticking 2 back on it. So we had a little bit of fuel, stuck 2 tires on it, and just hot lapped the last 10 laps. I mean, that's all we did. We just, as hard as it would go.
Absolutely. Well, it definitely pays off for you here, man, as you're able to put that AC Delco machine up here into victory lane in the season finale, man. We've seen you have some pretty solid runs, some pretty solid performances out here. Not really getting the finishes that you deserve, but here tonight at Concord, Charlotte Motor Speedway, you're able to get it done and find yourself into victory lane, man. How does it feel to get one finally under your belt? Just unfortunately a little late in the season here to really get that momentum rolling.
Yeah, this is a pretty good time slot for us if if we don't go to a race or a football game or something. But this was fun. Yeah, I had some ran I think 3 or 4 times and through you know incidents, happenstance, whatever. Like last week, my computer had an update pop up, and my screen glitched, and I crashed it Talladega. But we fixed that, so it was it's nice. It's good to finally win something.
Absolutely. Well, you pull it up here into victory lane here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Chad, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this evening?
I just thank all these guys here with this league for putting on the race, and thank you for broadcasting, and Wesley and Anthony for they kind of let me know that there was some stuff we could race a little earlier on Friday if we wanted to. So thank them for letting me know. And so yeah, I mean that was a fun race, pretty good time.
Absolutely, brother. Definitely looked like a lot of fun. Looked like you guys were enjoying yourselves out there on the racetrack, and it's always that extra little bit of fun when you're able to pull it up into victory lane. Chad, congratulations on the great run. Congratulations on the win, and don't party too hard down there in victory lane.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for the 15 machine of Chad Coleman as he picks up the win. Here this evening, he's able to get the job done and pick up the checkered flag as we're still waiting on official word here on our point standings on who ended up being our champion here on the season. But we will pull in our second place finisher on the night, the number 6 rider, Zach Roethlisberger. We'll pull Zach up here into the broadcast booth. Hey, Zach, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Gotcha, Aaron.
Zach, brother, another good run, another good race here for you, man. Just a little bit short of picking up another checkered flag on the season, man. Take us back through this one. What was going through your mind there, knowing that you had a great car and a great run and a great season here to get things started? Just unfortunately missing a few races there, potentially taking you out of contention here of this championship.
Yeah, it was. I think pace-wise, I was, had one of the better cars, or I was, one of the better, had one of the best paces all night, I guess, if you could say. And then that second to last caution, I took 4 tires, and a couple of those guys took 2. Got track position in front of me, and then the last caution, I took 2 tires, and Chad just beat me out of pit road. There, by inches. So, and here at Charlotte, it's really hard to pass when you run the defensive line like he was doing. So, overall, I think if you go back, the second to last caution, I should have taken 2 tires, gotten a little bit more track position. I would have came out, taken 2 tires again, come out the leader on that last caution, and that should have been all she wrote. But yeah, just one of those decisions that cost you the race. But overall, fun for sure.
Absolutely. A lot of fun and such a great season here for you, man. Such a great season for all these drivers as week after week after week, man. You guys put on some amazing shows here for all the fans in the stands and be able to finish it off, I mean, pretty solidly here at Charlotte. Only a few caution flags, pretty easy, single or 2-car spins kind of deal and quick cleanup, quick back to the green flag where we still saw a lot of these green flag runs, one set of, green flag pit stops there, and really just keeping not only all the other drivers that aren't part of the championship battle, right there in the hunt, but also having all 3 of the championship drivers that are in it for that championship here at the end of the evening, right there together. When you look through it and you see, all 3 of them who are battling for this championship, Justin Lewis, Anthony Calatoni, Clay Cantrell, basically all right there together in 4th, 5th, and 6th on the speedway, just shows you how tough the competition is, where there's 3 other drivers that aren't really part of the championship hunt in front of them, and there's a whole lot of great talented ones right there behind them as well.
Yeah, no, and I just want to, hats off to everybody that, ran the league for the first season. Clay and I kind of had put this idea together and, wasn't really sure how it was going to unfold. And, here we are, a couple months later with the help of, all of our admins. It was a pretty successful season so far. So I just want to thank all of them, Clay, Justin Bentley, Derek Catt, Fred Anderson, Mike Peters, everybody that helps the league go around and for everything that they do. Thank you for doing the broadcast this season. We're getting ready to announce season 2 here in a couple weeks. We're hoping to have you on board for that. Thank you to Amir for doing the race control for us all season, and then first foremost, thank you to all the drivers who came out and put on a great show. You know, we had a couple of races there that were caution free, and overall, you know, had a great time. You know, running in the series as a competitor and just, you know, as somebody organizing it as well. So just, you know, hats off to everybody, you know, and really enjoyed it this season.
Absolutely, a very fun season. A lot of great racing and a lot to look forward here to for season number 2 right around the corner. But Zach, I'm not sure if you've got word yet or not on who officially was our champion here. And I'm not sure if
I
Anthony
do, yep.
was able to
Anthony
hang on to it.
Callantoni, yep.
Yeah, okay,
And
perfect.
Anthony Callantoni got the win by, I can tell you the exact amount here. It was close. He won by 14 points, so he's our season 1 champion.
Beauty. Okay, that's good to know. But Zach, man, a great run, a great drive here for you, brother. Is there anyone else you'd like to thank here for such a great run and great drive, not only this evening but all season long?
Nope, just thank you to all the admins for everything that they do. Again, thank you for doing the broadcast. Thank you to Amir for doing the race control, and then thanks to all the drivers. I hope they, you know, enjoyed it and had a good time.
Absolutely, and we hope that majority of them are going to be back here for season number 2 and for some more amazing action here. Zach, enjoy the rest of your evening. Congratulations on another great run, a solid performance here this evening, and congratulations to yourself and all of the admin crew and everyone that makes this happen on such a great season, man. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to be back for season number 2, and I'm sure a lot of these drivers, they can't wait to be back here racing every Friday as well.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You as well.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for our second place finisher here this evening, the number 6 ride of Zach Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger coming home in position number 2. Having himself a great run, a great drive. You heard him, just that little bit of a mistake down pit side, the wrong choice or whatever else on tires cost him potentially the win here this evening. As we're going to get ready, we're going to pull in our third place finisher here first before our points champion. We're going to pull in Wesley Donaldson up here into the broadcast booth. Hey, Wes, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yep, I got you.
Wes, brother, man, a great run, a great drive here for you tonight. We say leading a lot of laps, staying there at the front of the field, had a very strong car, but right there at the end, just falling a couple spots shy of another checkered flag here on the season, man. But a great way to finish things off. Bring yourself back up here onto the podium.
Yeah, it was a pretty good run overall. I'm glad to finally finish one of these out. I feel like I've had speed quite a bit of races, but just haven't been able to finish races out with a lot of my own mistakes, like speeding on pit road and doing dumb stuff like that. But yeah, this was a good one. I think it would have been a little bit better spot there at the end had that caution not fell right after I had pit there for a green flag stop. But overall, I mean, it was a pretty fun race. I'm really glad for Anthony for winning the championship there. He had a really good season, and Chad put on a really good show there at the end on 2 tires.
Yeah, absolutely. The team coming in clutch here in this final race. Obviously, seeing Chad get the run and the great finish here after, having, some good cars, some good performances, and not the finishes that he's hoped for over the few races that he's ran in the season. But having it all come together here at Charlotte, really maybe giving him an extra boost, maybe bringing him in here for more and more races come season number 2, and then obviously your teammate Anthony Callantoni picking up that championship. When you see Chad having the performance like he did here this evening and having Anthony pick up that championship, it's just gonna put a little bit of fear into all the other drivers when season 2 rolls around and they know that everything's gonna be balanced again, and they gotta continue to battle with yourself and Anthony Callantoni and Chad Coleman and the rest of your crew, man, as you guys continue to keep on putting up great numbers and great races week after week.
Oh yeah, it's I mean, there's some fast guys in here, like Roethlisberger's really quick, Lewis is really quick up there, and then a few other guys that I don't even think were here tonight either that are pretty quick running up there every week. But yeah, these last few races, and especially since Chuck and Chad had been running more with us on in these, we've all been running pretty well. Chad's had some bad luck. I've had some bad luck. Chuck was pretty quick tonight. He just kind of got the bad end of strategy there and got caught up in a wreck, or else he'd have been right up there with us. So yeah, looking forward to next season. Hopefully, myself, I can at least be a little bit more consistent and bring those finishes home. But overall, pretty happy with how this season went. Like I said, really happy for Anthony.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Wes, a great run here tonight, a great finish for yourself to finish off this season. Who would you like to thank here for a great run tonight, but also a great run all season long?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody here at MNT Cup Series, everybody that helps put this stuff on. I'm an admin in another league, so I know what all goes into making this stuff go on every single week. So appreciate them and all the work they put in and the money they put in for everything. Thanks to my teammates, like I said, Chad, Anthony, Chuck. We have a good time every Friday night running these things. Shout out to you for doing the broadcast every single week. I usually try to go back and catch it, even if I wasn't in the race. And then shout out to the sponsors on the car, which are NSK 811, Goat Racing Diecast, Trans Service Logistics, and then last but not least, WBD Diecast, which is my custom diecast company where we make custom diecasts for current day NASCAR Cup, Truck, Xfinity, ARCA, and then even your iRacing paint schemes.
Thank you, brother. Well, Wes, a great run, a great season for yourself. We can't wait to see you back out there for season number 2 and more trips up here into the broadcast booth.
All right, see you then.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and don't party too hard picking up that championship with your teammate.
Yep, will do.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher here on the evening. The 91 rider, Wesley Donaldson, coming home there in third here tonight. But we'll get ready to pull in our fifth place finisher here on the night, having himself a solid performance. But it wasn't really about the finish position here this evening. It was about where he could kind of finish in front of and whom he could finish in front of. It's Anthony Calatoni, our inaugural season champion here at the MNT Cup Series. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for Anthony Calatoni picking up the championship here this evening. Hey, Anthony, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
What's going on? We're a little bit happier now.
Nah, I'm sure you're feeling pretty spry right now, brother. Picking up the championship, being able to get it done, and locking it in as our inaugural MNT Cup Series champion, brother. How does it feel to know that all your hard work, all these races, all the ups and downs on the season, you're able to be the most consistent out of every other driver that we've seen here, where we've seen over 70-something drivers here, 73 different drivers take a green flag here on the season, and you're able to be the most consistent out of every single one of them and pull yourself up here as our champion.
It feels real good. I'm not even gonna say I threw away another championship last year in another league. I completely grenaded it. So it feels real good to kind of redeem myself and put a. I mean, it was only 10 weeks, but to put a 10-week season together.
Absolutely. Sometimes those shorter seasons are even tougher to really put together a championship because you have one or two bad races, maybe even three bad races, and you're so far out of it that you don't even have a chance. Even if you go out and win 3 or 4 races, those 3 or 4 bad finishes, lopside those good ones and can take you out of a championship contention in a quick hurry. Where if it's 15 races, 20 races, you kind of get that extra opportunity to kind of rebound and regain those points that you may have lost from a few bad runs.
Absolutely. You just try not to put yourself in bad positions, and luckily we were put into good positions and avoided trouble that was around us, and I guess it was not bad for missing one race this year.
Absolutely. Well, I do know that there was one, I don't know if there was 2 drop weeks or not, but nonetheless, being able to, go out here on the evening, knowing that you had a job to do, you're able to do it perfectly. Just keep yourself out of trouble, keep your car pointing in the right direction, and just get that solid finish. And you did a great job at it as you were right there in between, the 2 drivers that were chasing you here for this championship. Justin Lewis getting 1 spot above you, Clay right there behind you, and being able to come home with a 14-point championship lead. I mean, it's not as much of a comfortable cushion as what I'm sure you would have liked to have had here on the evening, but now that the dust is settled, knowing that you're that champion, it doesn't matter if it was 5 points or 50 points between you. I'm sure you're just happy to be crowned the champion here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, don't matter if it was 14, 1, 2 points, half point. It's ours. The championship is going to come home to our team, to the Talking Giants crew, and I had fun. This was a fun little 10-week season. Unfortunately, I will not be able to defend the championship in season 2 for prior conflicts. The sister wanted to do something. We're bowling, so now we're bowling Friday nights. But that's why this is a hobby. And real life, I guess you do things first.
Exactly. You know what? And spending that good quality time with, your family and friends and everything else, brother, in real life, as much as it's always good time spending good quality time with friends here on the simulator or in the Discord, I mean, getting that real life experience, going out, doing things, everything else, man, we can't fault you for that. We can't put the hurt on you, brother. That's always the goal for everybody, man, is to be just out there, going out, having fun, doing whatever, have fun doing, and being able to pick up the championship, kind of getting that championship here checked off your bucket list a little bit, definitely gives you that extra little bit of an itch to want to go and do other things throughout, real life, and not being here on the simulator and enjoying those little things like bowling or anything else. And if you would have lost this one, it might have been a little bit of a different story. If you ended up losing the championship by a point or two, you might want to try to go back and redo it. But I mean, hey man, we can't fault you for wanting to spend time with family and friends.
Right.
But brother, a great run, a great race here, man. A very solid performance still out of you, still up inside the top 5 to finish off this season as you pull that 84 ride up here into our championship victory lane. Anthony, who would you like to thank for not only a great run here tonight, but a great run all season long as you get crowned our inaugural MNT Cup Series champion?
Well, first of all, we're going to have to thank Talking Giants and John Boy Media for the fantastic sponsorship in all my leagues that we run here. I forgot to mention the past couple of weeks a couple sponsors, but I guess that's typical of a driver, I guess. So I'd like to thank the Rebuilding Warriors Foundation. They're on the car. I gotta thank WBD Diecast. I think they're on the car. NC811 and all my teammates there at BPPC Motorsports, Wesley, Chad, and Chuck. I gotta thank you for doing the broadcast, all the sponsors of the league, the admin team for a great season. They did a fantastic job. And who else? This is you always forget. Just thank everyone. All the fans watching. I know we had a couple Talking Giants fans watching, Talking Giants versus the world, and yeah, when we come back, we're gonna try to go for 2.
Absolutely, brother. We can't wait to see you back out there. Can't wait to see you back in contention, battling with these guys, having fun out there on the speedway, putting up these great finishes. And I'm sure, without a doubt, maybe not next season, but season 3, season 4, coming back and being potentially our first 2-time season, champion here in the MNT Cup Series. As no one's been able to do that yet, and you at least got a couple years to kind of trying to get that title.
That would be, I guess, a continuation of a streak there for inaugural stuff, or for first. You win the first championship. Let's try and you're right. Let's go and try and be the first double 2-time champion.
Exactly. 100%, brother, and we can't wait to see you back out there. Whether it's just next season, one-offs here and there, if bowling for some reason gets canceled or whatever else, or any of the other leagues I put on, I'm sure you guys may be hopping into some of those or anything else, or I'm sure we'll see you out there on the racetrack, brother. But listen, can't thank you enough for showing up week in, week out, always putting on these great shows, great races, being such a fierce competitor out there on the racetrack. And huge congratulations not only from myself on picking up the championship, but huge congratulations from the entire MNT Cup Series on picking up this championship here tonight as well. And we hope you enjoy the win and the celebration here with your friends and family on being crowned the champion here tonight.
Oh, we're going to celebrate. All right. We're going to, I guess the celebratory party is going to be on the fishing boat tomorrow, but Gotta wake up here in 6 hours, 7 hours. But yeah, we're gonna do a little party on the boat tomorrow, I guess now.
There you go, brother. Enjoy that. Have fun. Be safe. And we can't wait to see you back out there one of these days on the racetrack.
Thank you, man, and hope to see you soon.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our champion, Anthony Calatoni, picking up the 5th place finish here tonight, but picking up that points champion, becoming our inaugural MNT Cup Series champion here in 2024. Getting the first one ever is a big thing here. Brand new series, brand new competition. A lot of drivers for the first time running together, racing together out there on the speedway, but everything coming together, working well here. We saw a lot of great racing action, a lot of back and forth, a lot of great fun out there on the speedway. And as the dust settles here in our 10th and final race of the series, being able to see that 84 ride, the Talking Giants machine, pick up that championship, man, by 14 points, just showing you how tight and how good that competition is out there on the racetrack, where you get the top 3 at the end of the season, you know, 14, 15 points behind, the top 3 there is absolutely insane. Having top 3 that close together after 10 races, absolutely amazing. George coming in, showing the love, says, good job, Ant coming in with a great run, a great job right there, George. It's some great racing action here this evening from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Everyone coming in with the likes, the comments, the shares, any of the new followers, any of the new subscribers, thank you for, coming in, showing that love, becoming brand new parts of the PeaceMaker family here this evening, whether it's over on Facebook, Twitch, or over on YouTube. I appreciate each and every one of you and welcome you to the PeaceMaker family. Unfortunately, though, that is going to do it for us here tonight. We saw 2 amazing races. We saw the dirt street stocks early on in the evening as George Corman, hopefully I'm saying that right. George coming in, showing the love, smashing that thumbs up on the broadcast. I appreciate you, my dude, coming in, smashing that thumbs up here. And yeah, we saw the Dirt Clash Super Street Series, the Dirt Street Stocks, live in action for the Friday Night Lights here earlier on in the evening. And then we finish it off here with the championship race with the MNT Cup Series, man. A great night of Friday night racing. And we can't wait to get these guys back in here for season number 2. I know they're going to take a couple weeks. They're going to do some recruiting. They're going to find some more drivers to get interested in the series, and then we'll be back in action with these guys here. And hopefully it doesn't seem like too long. Hopefully it's right around the corner. Hopefully it's right there, and we don't have to wait too long. But we can't wait for season number 2. And we can't thank them enough for having us on board here as the broadcaster in season number 1, because it was a ton of fun. It was a lot of great racing action, and on to bigger things. Season 2 could be bigger, better, and way cooler here. So let's go for a massive season 2 here at the MNT Cup Series, man. That'd be a lot of fun. But listen, can't thank you guys enough for tuning in, showing the love here on the evening, and I'll see you guys all back here tomorrow night when we have the Premium Stock Car Racing League back in action. I do believe they head to I don't know where they head to. I think they head to Charlotte. They may head to Charlotte tomorrow as well. I'm not 100% sure. But we do have the not the MNT Cup Series. The MNT Cup Series coming to a close here tonight, but the Premium Stock Car Racing League tomorrow evening. Listen, it's late, chat. We're going to call it there on that note. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will catch you guys all later. Peace out for now. Much love. See you all in the next one. Woo! What a race, what a run, what a drive here this evening.